Good evening. Welcome back to Let's Talk the Talk. I have a special guest here tonight, Mijiza Green, in the building, I'm gonna say I love your hat, by the way. I meant
Oh,
to tell
thank
you
you.
that
Thank
when
you
we was
so
out
much.
there. Dope hat. Wish I could wear them. I don't think I can pull it off as good as you. But we have her in the building tonight. I'm very excited. For some of the viewers that don't know who you are, do you mind giving a little background about yourself?
Let's see. Let's see. That's always that fun part when you get to describe
Mm.
who you are. All right. Oh, what do you do? What do you do? Well, I'm Mijiza Green. They call me the mental motivator, and why they call me that? Because I will motivate you to do whatever it is that you said you're going to do. But actually, I'm the owner of the Wellness Purse, which is one of my companies where we do life coaching, mental health coaching, and fitness coaching, and everything that we do is done the mental way. So I just
Like
want to
that.
teach people get in touch with that mental health because it's real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's great that you say that because literally last week's episode was about mental health and how
Wow.
uh, this generation is we're starting to get it. Back in you know talking to someone was only for the crazies.
That's
And
real.
that's what people thought, and it was just such a stigmatism on what we did, and now I feel with this generation we're seeking the help.
I
You
agree.
know, we're more willing to talk about it, saying that it happens to everyone.
That is real.
So wow, look at that.
I'm telling you.
Oh
Look,
man, we should have had
see,
a whole
see,
we should have had a whole cast
man. That
last
means
week too.
you're gonna have to have me back then.
I'm always down for that. I'm always down for that. I also wanted to mention too that you're Magnolia alumni.
I am. I work at
Yes,
Magnolia Middle School.
yes. Oh
Yes,
my gosh,
yes.
great
I'm
time.
still there. I'm
Still,
still
huh?
there. Well,
Mr. Fulton still there?
no, Mr. Fulton moved to another school.
What?
Yeah,
No
but
way. Oh my
I'm still
goodness.
there.
Oh man, I might even have to
So
stop by. I might have to stop by
come
now.
on now.
It's been a couple. I ain't gonna try to tell my age like that though. But it's been a couple. It's been some years now.
Oh man, it's all
Oh
right.
my
Somebody
gosh.
is there. I guarantee you that
Oh
that
my
was there.
goodness.
I'm telling you, and I ain't gonna say no names. They know who they are, but I got about 4 of them I know that would know who you are.
Oh, you know what? I might have to make a trip. I might have to make a trip. They still got the vault with the where you, I remember we used to get
Well, like
keys.
the Viking. Well,
Yeah,
now
the
we just
Viking
changed
vault.
the name, so now they call Viking keys. So, but it's still the keys where you get to go spend them.
Nice,
Absolutely
nice.
for great behavior. You're absolutely
Oh
right.
my gosh, it's going right down the memory lane. It's right down the memory lane. I also want to talk to you about you have a children's book out.
I do. I do. Pretty to be dark skinned, which is my book.
Oh yeah,
I just, put it up.
oh yeah. Let's see that.
This book right here was one of my first books, and this is about me. So yes, me. That's me. That's me.
Oh,
And looking all cute in my little crown.
with
But
yeah, the crown
oh
on.
yes, yes. But this book was very dear to my heart. I started writing this book. I was writing a chapter in my original book. And when I was writing this chapter, I kind of felt like I was in this child, like I was in this third character as I was reading back.
Oh,
And I was just like, whoa. And I sent it to a few people and they were like, you were onto something. And that's
and you
really
just went
how
on from
this
there.
book came about.
I love the illustrations. I love that, by the way.
Check it out.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So at first, this was just you're writing on your one other book, and then it spirals in to something like
Yes.
that. I like that
Yes, I
though.
found myself talking as though I was still there, like I was still this little girl, and not realizing, how much um, bullying was involved, how much my self esteem was involved, and it took me onto a journey of like, how did I become this person
This
I
is who
am
you are
today?
today.
Was because of those experiences. So there we go
Wow.
again, dealing with these mental health things
Starting
very
off
young,
early.
and you don't even know that you're experiencing this
That's
because nobody understands it.
oh man. This is the illustrations. Everything on
Thank
here.
you. Thank you. Shout
Illustration
out to
is
Alpha
oh my
Publishing.
gosh.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, everyone. When I say the illustration, I can literally feel this little girl's tears right here.
That's
I can
really
literally feel
uh,
it. Oh man.
to see a little girl with that book in
With
her hand and somebody to send the picture is like it's the ultimate feeling.
man, this is amazing.
Thank you.
How long did it take you to
Writing it, you would
yeah,
not
to
even
writing
believe.
it?
To write it, it probably I tell you, no, it probably took me less than a month to write it.
Really?
It took me, of course, longer to make sure that the
That
pictures
the
and the
pictures
illustrations were
are right where
done
they
to,
near.
and even when it came to like my father's complexion, I was really big on making
Oh
sure
yeah,
that was
let me
done.
try to get to
Because my
there.
father was very lighter, and then my
Okay.
mom was lighter than me, and I was darker. So just making sure those little things, but to write it, that's when I real. I mean, I've always said I was going to write it,
You was
but
gonna write
this
something?
was my thing. It was like I got to put this out.
Yeah, I'm. Oh man, I'm definitely going. I like me some reading. I definitely like that, and I
Oh
like
yeah.
how you do target something that I think
Yes.
that in our community we definitely go through.
Oh yeah.
I definitely remember, growing up as a kid, and then we do see someone, lighter than us or
Yes.
darker than us, and we would like instantly just go right at.
But that's real.
It's a real life
It's a
thing, and
real
I
thing.
like how you target that
And you know
because.
what? I realized that it was big in the African American community. That
Mm-hmm.
colorism that we were
Yup.
going through that in our own communities, in our own homes. I was hearing stories, about how growing up, even in your own home, you were treated differently. Either you were lighter or you
Mm-hmm.
were
You're
darker.
darker.
And the stories, this children's book, adults were sending me messages. Adults were like, thank
You
you for
probably,
finally talking about.
yeah, you probably unlocked something that
I
they
agree.
had all the way deep down
I agree.
inside.
I agree.
That's something that I just thought about because I was like, man, because I know my mom is a little bit lighter than me, and I still go through some of the times where they be like, "Is that really your mom? Like, look at y'all complexion." I'm
Isn't that
like,
something?
"What do you mean, look at my
Exactly,
complexion?"
right? Well, what
That's
does
my
that
mom.
determine? Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm really glad that you hit that because dang, I'm just remembering like all the times where we're in gym class or we're in some sort of class and
Right?
someone's a little bit lighter and they be like, "Man, you're not even really with us."
Wow, exactly.
Like as a day, kids are so mean.
But it's
Back in the day,
real.
they were
It's
probably
nobody
like,
wants to
"Yo."
talk about that. Like we've all been there at some
Mm-hmm.
point that it was a joke, and never knowing that
That
sometimes our
that
jokes were really digging deep into others. That's
yeah,
really what it is.
and that like it's just so crazy that it's just brought up, and then I think now where everyone's speaking out, and everyone being comfortable who they are, and now that we're able to talk about this, like,
Yeah.
look, man, this was happening
This
for a
was Thank you.
while.
Exactly. That's what I want people to see. Like it's been there. We've all been a victim, we all been a part of it,
Mm-hmm.
but let's make sure we're not doing it anymore.
Please, because if the next person asks me if I came out my mother, I'm gonna have to carry some of my pictures in the back. I was like, yeah, man, this
Exactly.
this
Do I
this
have to
this
carry
my
my birth
mom.
certificate around?
This is my
Well, that
mom.
was me all the time. My dad was very much lighter. My mother was lighter than me, and so even in the book, it talks about people calling me the milkman's baby.
I've heard of
Like that was like this joke back in the day because my mom's
the
like the milkman
man.
would come to the door. Okay, that's deep,
The
but
things that just flew over my head while like
see,
we're growing up and was like, I heard that saying before.
yes,
I just never thought about. I was like, yo, like who's still delivering milk?
yes,
And then it wasn't until I got older and I was like, oh, that's that's kind of nasty, like I was like, how did that go above my head like that? Like man, like I am super excited. I'm definitely going to give this a read. I see you brought another book with you as well.
oh man.
Let me get into that one.
Get into this one. What goes on in my house stays in my house.
That's another old. Ooh, you was killing
All
it. You
right.
was killing.
So this is an anthology, and I'm gonna just have to leave this one with you because
Yeah.
this one is everything that you said your segment was last week.
Mm-hmm. That was a part of it as
Stories
well.
from several authors, including myself.
Oh, that's
And guess what? We
neat.
have part two. We're working on part two right
Oh,
now. Part two
really?
will be published in June. So this will be a six series
I like that
of
though.
this book, giving people opportunities to tell their stories and
That's
from their point of view. So
yeah. I like that. I
and those
definitely
words, I don't know, have you ever heard those words?
came into this
Like
segment
kind of
last week.
wow.
How that was instilled to us that even if you do go to someone, whatever happens in this house
Yes.
stays in this house. You don't tell no one about nothing, and it's
Nobody.
like so many things
Oh
went
gosh.
on, and then that's just a repeating cycle.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I think it's amazing for every person who had a part in this the because I know that can't be easy sometimes.
It's not, and that's what I love is how I help authors come out. So I think that's why again they call me the mental motivator, because I don't just say, hey, come be a part of my book and pay this fee. It's like, no, when you pay that fee, you're going to get a coaching session on how to write your
Mm,
story, because it's hard to relive it. And it's the reason why
it's
it took
gotta
me
be.
so long to start writing, because I can talk to you, but to write
Write
it
it
on
down.
paper, that's a
That's a
different world. So it's a process for these kind of stories to come out. And so we have workshops, and I'm sending out prayers and emails every week to encourage them, because I know they want to let it out, but it's a
it's
fear
a
that's
fear
still
that.
attached. It was there for me. The
Oh yeah,
fear,
I
the
can only
guilt, the shame,
imagine,
all
and
of those things that come with it.
now that you're saying some things that are that happen in the house, I can only imagine how
Yes.
sometimes it can rub someone
Yes.
the wrong
It's
way.
real.
So like, how did you with you being like, no, I gotta break this
Yeah.
cycle. I gotta let people know like it's okay
Yes.
to speak. How did you go on from like
I'm
how?
gonna say for me, it's been in there for a long time, and I have walked around. For instance, I have one of my sisters. Her name is Tracy Matthews, and she knew I wanted to write many years ago. Every year she would come to me like with a pad or with a new journal, and like, when you gonna
When you
write
gonna
this
write
book, when you
something?
gonna write this book, when you got a story. And that fear came with it, right? And so with the fear, it keeps you stagnated, it kind of stops you in your track. But I'm like, I'll write a little bit, but then you relive it, and it's like, nope,
You get that
let me
little
step back.
PTSD and like you
Yes,
still
it's
replay it.
there. The anxiety
Yeah.
is there, the depression, the guilt, the shame is still there. And for me, I lost my dad in 2020
I'm so
to
sorry.
COVID. And no, that was devastating, because there was no warnings, there was no
There was no
underlying
nothing.
medical, there was
There's
no nothing. It was the beginning. Nobody knew what
no
it
one.
was.
That's one of the scariest
And
things.
took my number one person away. And for me, that was it. And so my best friend, Nakia, says to me one day, we were taking a drive out of town, just to get away with the family. And she said to me, Daddy's gone. What are you holding on to now?
Ooh. So that
And
kind
I
of
know
got
it
you.
wasn't easy for her to say that, but she had a right to say that to me, because she's been my friend for over 20 years and knew that every day I wanted to tell my dad how I became this person, how I gave birth at 13 years old.
Oh wow.
How, so it's so
That's
much, so
young.
much. You're like, whoa, I didn't know I was getting into this. Yeah. You
No, I
know,
was like, wow, like like you
yes,
got like she definitely saw something in you
yes.
and was like, you
What are
gotta
you
let it.
holding on to now? Because I would say
Nah.
it's never the right time. I just wanted my dad to know, but I also realized that I had held it back from him, because I just didn't want him to take the blame. I
Yep.
just wanted him to know, like, I'm good and I don't blame
I
you.
don't blame you for
But
what's going on.
when is the right time to tell your dad the things that you
They,
truly been through?
yeah,
And
like
he
how
was
you really
there. And
made you
because,
feel, and
yeah, and
now you're thinking like, well, I really didn't like what you did, and now he's just like, well, why didn't
I
you
didn't
tell
know,
me? Like it's like,
how do you say that? Like, I know you were working and you took care of your family. I needed you, but then I don't blame you, because you did what you
you,
needed to do, because we lived a good life.
yeah, I could only imagine like that being like, it's not the right time, and then
Winnings.
like the fact that 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 you're like, yo, think I gotta do
I
this,
have
like,
to. I
but
have
yeah,
to. I
I
have
think
to.
that's amazing.
I had to. That was the no more running for me, and understanding that why God took him.
Mm,
That was a big pill to swallow for me. I
yeah,
wanted to be angry, and I
that's
was
me.
at some point. I wanted to be in a better depression, but it became this fire that God said that I have to, in order for this to come
To
out.
come to for
Your vision and your purpose is bigger, and I know you angry at me. That's what I feel God was telling me. I know you angry, but I had to. And to be honest, had that not, these wouldn't be out,
these
because I
wouldn't be
would,
out because you
no
were
matter
still,
how good it looked, I'll still be talking here and there, but I would
but
not
you
be
wouldn't
on
put
this
it out.
level.
Oh man,
I wouldn't be.
it's like with the COVID thing that happened into I lost a couple family members. I had a job. It got liquidated. So I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna
What's
do.
next?
Yeah, like what's next? I was like, I do love technology. I was like, I love it. I was like, I may be an introvert, but if someone like when you get me behind the camera,
Yes.
it's just something that
I
just
love
clicks, that
it.
just resonates with me. I was like, oh yeah, I can talk to
I got
anybody.
this.
I can do anything. So like I do tell people like COVID was like a blessing and a curse. Like
I agree.
it definitely
I agree.
gave me the kick in the butt to be like,
Mm,
look, life's too short.
that's right.
If you hit it, you hit it. If you get a home run, you get a home run. If you miss, I can't be like I regret. I did it.
And that's what I love. That there's no such thing as failure.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I like.
there's no such thing as failure. Like if we stop looking at it like that, why don't you look at it as I checked it off the box? All right, that didn't work. Let's move on to what's
I
next.
like that.
That's how. So I become not afraid to take those risks or take those steps or talk about these courageous conversation things that I don't know which way it's going to go, because at the end of the day, my purpose is bigger. So I know that it's not going to fit into everybody's square.
Yeah, I was just about to say
You
that.
know,
Not
like
everyone's
I'm
cup
this
of tea.
yes, it's
but
not going to fit in everybody's box. But when you understand what you're supposed to do, it just pushes me even more. It does.
I love it. With your father passing during that, did you have any I know you wanted it to come out, but did you have any like writer's block? Because it's like, well, like you said, now's the time because now I can finally say it. But it's still like I need some time to really process myself before I really put my words down.
I think it became that motivation. So every time that writer's block came in, I knew what I needed to do. So it was like, okay, you need to pray. You need to stop. The reality is that's how that mental motivator came in, because when writer's block came in, I realized that it was coming in for a reason. It was coming in because I was being distracted by my purpose.
Okay.
So I had to recreate and re-identify, reintroduce myself, because even then during this time, I was 225 pounds.
Oh, wow.
And so I had to reinvent
Mijiza
completely. Like, either I'm going to be in this bed because this is my main man and you took him. So either I'm about to lay down and leave this job, but then I had my mother. She still needed me. Then I had my siblings. We needed each other. So it was like, every time I wanted to do this, I'm not writing, push that book away. I would say, get on up. You got work to do. And so I changed that into, let me look at this time schedule. Let me start exercising. Let me start looking at this meal plan. And I got with one of my girlfriends from high school, and she was a coach. And so me and her, man, shout out to Sherelle.
I was about to say, shout her out.
That's my day one family. And man, I mean, I felt like we were getting. She had it down packed, but she was getting herself back together.
Okay, so
after giving birth, and stuff like that. So it just was amazing. It was an amazing journey.
I was just about to say, I like that journey.
It really became a journey of mental health, self-care, and health altogether. And on top of that, releasing these stories that have that took away from me being the best version of me.
I like how you put that. I always figured, when you go through something, it's always best to have that great support system.
Yes.
And from what it seems like, man, you have a phenomenal support system.
I'm so honored to have the support system. I did a podcast earlier this week, and we talked about sisterhood. Really truly understanding what it is to be called sis or things like that. But to have a support system, is you need it. And
you definitely
with the accountability attached to it, but also with the no judgment zone.
Yes, ma'am.
Shout out to my business partner, Janika Lynch. I'm sorry, Janika Lynch, she's part of that. She's part of that sisterhood. And it's so many more. But we have to have it. Mental health is real. I don't care how good we look doing this. I'll leave here and I'm gonna be like this. Okay, my day long.
Trying to, we should have had you on the segment last week.
That's all right. I'm hoping I get invited back. If y'all want me back, make sure you contact him.
We definitely will, because we were talking about. Excuse me. While everyone was wearing the mask, you never knew, exactly what person you're getting. They're wearing that emotional mask as well.
That's so true. You couldn't see the emotions. You couldn't see the facial expressions.
Not at all.
And I am known for the facial expressions, okay? So I was kind of like, some of the kids at the school seen it through the eyes. They know you when they see it through the eyes. Come on now.
I had a couple teasers in there. You can already tell
I
I was
don't
in.
care what mask I have on. You know what I'm feeling right now.
Yeah.
Yes, but that mask, because we were wearing, some of us were wearing invisible masks.
Mm-hmm.
I know I was at some point.
I definitely have too.
I think the mask just made it feel better.
And that's what I when people be like, you're so happy and jolly, it's like no one ever really knows what someone's
Isn't
going
that
through.
something?
Like you can be the happiest person to outside. I said it last week because I was like, you ever realize how you see most of the comedians end up doing
You're right.
tragic things, but it's usually the people who try to make other people laugh and be happy the most are usually the ones that are the saddest.
Because that's why they become a lot of comedians become comedians, because you joking on yourself before somebody else jokes on you. Absolutely. I mean, and why do I know this? Because although I wasn't a comedian, I was the class clown because of all of this stuff going on. But everybody just thought, oh, she's funny, or she got in trouble because she was joking around. But I'm saying, like, waving the flag.
It's like a little call, and it's like help. Like I'm not trying to be the center of attention or being
I don't want to be.
But I'm like, yo, I'm crying for help. Like I need help. Like I'm so happy that I have you on here because you and Cliff, you guys really made me feel comfortable being like, I know I'm not alone now.
You're not,
because I know there was some times where being the class clown and getting in trouble, and everyone's like, oh, yo, you stay in trouble.
Yeah, you stay in trouble. Yeah.
Like no, I was like today. I just really wasn't like. I wasn't
trying.
I wasn't trying
to get in trouble. I really just want them to figure out what's wrong with me, and so I can talk to somebody. But nobody really wanted to talk about it then, and so now I'm grateful. And that's why I say the honor of being able to work for the school. Is because now I can recognize those things.
Yes, and you're able to recognize them, pick up on them,
immediately,
and just give that no judgment. Just just come and talk to me.
That's it. And that's literally what I do. You can call the school and they'll tell you exactly that is what I do there. Part of the behavior resource team, and that's what I do. What's going on? Because what you're doing, that don't bother me, because all you doing is telling me you want me. You want me to talk to you. So as much as you tell me I don't want to talk. When you're ready, come on over. Within the next hour or so, somebody's knocking at the door, and that's a beautiful feeling to be a part of the team, working with the counselors, or and learning from them. But to have that relationship with the kids, that I don't care what's going on at home, I'm worried about you.
Yep.
Because that behavior is telling me something different.
I think we definitely need that nowadays, especially like I can only imagine. Like, yeah, I got somewhat technology with me when I was growing up, but if I had it like how it is today, I'd probably be in your office about every other.
That's a whole nother world.
Ms. Green, I need to come see. I need to say, because everything's just so like it's either controversial or detrimental, or I think with the social media thing, I always call it a double-edged sword, because on here started out, I was like, oh man, y'all booming 100+ views, and then I get to the one and I'm like, ooh,
yeah,
oh, I'm real low,
yeah,
I'm like, yo, am I doing the right thing?
Am I doing?
Did I really bet on
off of those views? That's what we do.
Absolutely, that's what we do now.
That's what we do,
and that's just so. I don't want to call it crazy, because I still do it.
We all do. Don't think, again, you're not alone. We all do. I'll do a live, and one live would be 300 views, and the next one would be maybe 97, and I'm saying, well, maybe I made people uncomfortable, and then I go, oh, wait a minute, we're not second guessing ourselves. We gonna keep on going. That's it. Stopping as soon as that thing comes, and it's gonna come no matter what. Yeah. Soon as it comes, you stop that thing right there where it's at, because sometimes I realize that those darts that come in and try to take us off our tracks real quick, those are just distractions. We gotta grab those distractions, put them in our hand, and say, let me see how I'm gonna use you.
Okay.
Let me see how I'm gonna use you. So okay, let me see where my mind is at. So if my mind goes there, like, the views is low. Let me see. Let me go look at my video again. Let me see what I talked about. I have to stop myself right there. And then I have to say to myself, no, you good.
Okay.
You good. Let me give myself an affirmation. First of all, you went live. And if you did get low views, it's for a reason. And we're going to leave it right there. We're not going to review what you did, because you did it for a reason. So confirm yourself every time those little thoughts come, those negative thoughts come in. Just reconfirm who you are. affirm yourself with an affirmation. Like, there's other people who wish they were doing what you're doing. Do you know how much it takes to do this?
I honestly
The
didn't.
mental
Still,
part of preparing and getting ready, and having me, sometimes you don't always know the people, as maybe some guests you may know a little bit
some guess
more.
you. I definitely know the feeling because I was well, my mom was like, she said when you said yeah to come on, I said no way. I was like, I felt like I never met you in
Wow, yes,
person,
and that's true.
and I never have. But I just heard so many good things, and then,
Thank you.
well, number one, too, I heard the alumni thing, and I was like, oh yeah, we
Man,
already
we
good.
we already
I was like, we
family.
already good.
We
We already
already
family.
family.
So I had that fear. I was like, what am I going to talk about? What am I going to say? And and then like I said, once we sat down in here, it was just
It felt so
it
natural.
just was so natural. So I'm definitely listening to your words. I'm definitely
I'm happy
I'll
to be
take the
here.
yeah. See,
I
and
really am.
that's the one of my whole goals of having people come on to this show is that I always get a different perspective of life, a way of thinking, a way of
Yes, I
moving.
like that.
Always. I was like, you're never too old to learn.
Then come on now. When you
Yeah,
stop learning, then we need to figure that out. Okay, because I
absolutely.
always say, one thing I say is if I'm at the table and I'm the smartest one at the table, I'm at the wrong table. Period.
Yeah.
Period. I don't need to be, this is, no, I need to be like, oh, let me be
Let
around
me
this
be
person. They
around.
making a
Yeah.
million. I'm trying to get there.
Right. Like,
What
let me
can I
be up
learn
there
over
with them.
there? Exactly. I always want to learn.
That's why I'm so happy to have guests like you on because you guys always. I feel like having guests like this always keeps me grounded.
Ah, I like that.
Always keeps me grounded. Where it's like, yo, I got such amazing people in there.
I like that.
I think I'm hot stuff.
You
But
should.
but you guys, the way you guys speak to me and the way that we always just flow that I have with
Yes.
my guests, it was like, damn, bro, it's like I caught you. Excuse me, outside like ShopRite.
Yeah.
And we just, we chat. Excuse me, we talking it up. So it's just a blessing to have you
I
guys around.
appreciate it.
Like you said, I always try to keep people who are 20 times smarter than me.
Come on now.
Because I'm like, okay, well, even if the person doesn't think that they're spitting anything that means a lot, nah, bro, what you?
And we should feed off of each other. This
has to be.
you put a call out, and I said yes because the first thing I see is collaboration,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
a collaboration should always benefit both people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a financial benefit. It doesn't have but it's the benefit that I can always still learn, because to sit on here and to be proud of a young man like you who's doing this. You're doing this. People say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to start you did it. And it doesn't come with perfection. Okay. No. But it comes with you putting yourself out there each time you take a step further. And that's the type of stuff that I want to be a part of saying, wow, I'm so proud of this young man. Like, you're going to be mentoring somebody else to say, yo, I did it. Like, I didn't have a real plan, but I did it.
And I'll tell you, had no plan.
That's how it starts.
I knew my mom. She worked up here.
That's right.
I was like, maybe if I can get it, because I'm trying to tell you, my mom was always a number one fan of anything I wanted to do.
Yes, she has.
Wrestler. Okay, let's
anything
take you to the tryout.
Do, I know that.
Chef. Anything. So I came up to her. I was like, I think I want to do podcasts, and she was like, you, the guy who don't like to talk.
I love it.
I was like, yeah. I was like, I don't know why, but like, whenever I'm not like, I always find general good conversations with people that I don't even know. And people will be walking by. I think we'd be talking like we was best friends.
Exactly. That's a good thing. You're very social. But even though to be an introvert, but you can start a good conversation and keep that conversation. But that's good.
I'm trying. Look, every week there's something different. I try to learn.
I like it.
Young people. That's what's up. But I was told I got an old person, so wherever job I worked at, I was always friends with the oldest person in the room. So it's just that way of just thinking of like, if I'm learning, like I can also learn from someone that's young, but for me, I rather learn from someone who's been through it.
I like that. That's your preference.
Yeah, because if you ain't been through it, how you gonna tell me to get through it?
I like that right there.
I
like that. That is one of our mottos. Period. you have to go through some things and then you become an expert. The
Yes,
expert
ma'am.
doesn't always come with that degree. And so when you've been through some things, yes, when you find those 3 things, or how did you get out of it? And that's when you learn that you can always be a mentor to somebody. You can always help somebody get out of a situation, whatever it is, because you've been through it
Yes.
and you're out of it.
Yes.
Either you're getting out of it, you're on your way out of it, and that's how we start those stories. Pick those 3 things on that helped you get out of those things, and let's go ahead and build that.
I should have had my. I do got pen and paper. I was about to say I'm about to start writing some of this stuff down. I was like, I need some pen and paper. Got something right here.
Oh man.
So are you cooking up anything else in the? I know you are. I know you are.
Oh man.
But is there anything that you can share with us?
Okay.
There we go. That's
right.
I had to word it up right.
I like that. Well, as I told you, part 2 to what goes on in my house stays in my house. For instance,
put this up for everyone.
That one is called "Breaking My Silence for My Sanity." The next underlying title, so like that right there. The next title is called "Learning How to Forgive Those Who Hurt Me and Myself." Ooh. Forgiveness is big, so that is part 2.
Working on that.
Yes. We all learning how to forgive ourselves, and that's for real. We have the Her Voice, Her Purpose Summit comes up. The same kind of concept, teaching people how to bring that story from book into life. And that's been great. I had a great coach just as well. Dr. Sherwood's been one of my coaches. I'm so grateful to have her. So many others that I've shared the stage with. It's been a blessing within these last 2 years. And then we have Opulent Lady Business Association, which is great. Women in business. We just rolling, I'm just living. I'm living with purpose. Can I say that? Yeah. I'm living with purpose and understanding who I am and my purpose. And when you know that, can't nothing stop that woman. Can't nothing stop that man when you know that no matter how hard it gets, that you're walking in that purpose. My purpose is to give back. My purpose is to impact, empower, and inspire anyone that comes in my space.
I love that. You might have to put that in the shirt. You might have to put that one on the shirt. I loved everything about that. Do you have anything coming up for, especially this is a Women's
History Month. We're going to the movies. We're going to support a Black-owned business, which is a Black-owned movie theater. Oh, okay. Yep. Sunday, it's in Pikesville. Oh, Sunday, March 27th is $20. It's for anybody. Come out and it's called the Blissful No Work Zone, because we're learning self-care too. All right. Okay. So that's a whole nother segment now. But we're learning self-care, learning how to stop, take a little time, be around those positive people, and just take a little break so we can revive ourselves and get ready to go back at it.
I love that.
So that's coming up. That's the 27th. We have that every weekend. Again, I just say it to say I'm blessed to be able to share my story. So every weekend, I'm either, like this week alone, I think I've done 4 podcasts. Every weekend we have an event. And I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to
you're really spreading the word out here,
and I'm spreading my story.
Yes, you're giving just the boundaries to this podcast and our internet is unlimited.
It is.
The amount of people you can reach,
the collaborations and connections you make through this one little thing called Wi-Fi, internet, social media. It's up to you how you use it, and I choose to say that. I should say this, that if I'm going to be a distraction to somebody, which means somebody's going to stop to watch to watch whatever I'm doing live, I'm going to be a good distraction.
Yes, that's what we need.
Simple as that.
Good distractions.
If I'm going to stop you in your tracks that you're going to watch, you're going to get something great out of it, and it's going to be worth it.
I love that.
Yes, this has been great. I'm excited.
Yeah, look, I ain't as good as you yet. But I got a couple stories. I've written some little things down.
Come on now. Come on.
You got me thinking I might have to bring something out the archives.
Hey.
My one laptop's still in the storage
now.
I'm hoping that
you might have to just come on. It is. You got a story. You even got one. You told me a little bit about getting in trouble. At school. Come on. They said you always in trouble. It's the story behind that. Okay. It's the story that came even to get to this podcast. I'm just saying.
Oh, you ain't lying.
You got a story. We got plenty of them.
You ain't lying.
When you're ready, I'm going to be expecting that call so you can be on one of these anthologies.
You gonna have my picture on there?
That's right. I sure am. You
want hair nice, cleaned up. Get my hair done.
That's what I'm talking about.
this is, we definitely got to have a part two to this because I know, we were focusing on these lovely books here that I'm going to get cracking on. I'm going to get cracking on. But we definitely about, you know, the mental health.
Yes.
I love what you're doing for the empowerment of not only women but for everyone else. And
Yes.
you're starting to me. You're starting a whole new wave
Mm.
in this young generation
That sounded so
because
nice.
I
Appreciate that.
think this. Thank you,
Mm.
thank you because I do really believe that we need more people like you in our school systems that that no judgment free zone.
Yes.
We're not biased. I've been through what you're going through, and not just have. I'm not saying any guy. Look, not saying any guidance counselor had no sham
Exactly.
going
No
on,
shade.
no
But it's
shade,
real.
but you have someone who you can really connect to, and you're doing it. And I really want to say that
I appreciate
you.
I appreciate.
You
Guess what?
know,
Today's my anniversary. Today's
was
my
it?
yep. But my husband went to work, so we'll hang out on the weekend. He was like, "Nope."
Oh,
My number one person in
oh
my back corner,
snap!
like, "Come on now, go on, do that,
We
go and do that
appreciate you,
thing."
husband. We appreciate you. Thank you for letting me come on the show because
Yes, yes.
I need that.
That's
I need that.
that's. I love
You
it. I
see?
love it. Love it. Love
Oh
it.
my gosh, she
This has
came
been
here on
good.
a
Yep.
see, got me all like, dang, she came on.
That's
On
right.
the
I
show on
need to
her
be a guest
anniversary.
on this
Oh my
podcast.
gosh. Well, do you have anything else you would like to say to the viewers? Any way they
Uh,
can get in contact with you for
yeah,
anything?
that's
If they
good.
see where they can get your books at?
Not a problem.
Yeah.
What goes on in my house is available. Both of them are available on Amazon. Absolutely. What goes on in my house stays in my house is also on Target. You can go to my website, which is thewellnesspurse.com. And on social media, you can find me under the Wellness Purse on any social media or Mijiza Green. Either one, find me. You want a 20-minute consultation to talk about some things you're going through? Come on, go ahead and get on that website and book your consultation. I'm here. My office is right in Choppertown. Zoom, however you want to do it. But it's time. It's time for you to definitely start healing. It's time for you to start getting that story out. It's time for you to reflect, release, and receive that everything that God has for you. And this is your time, 2022. Be the best version of you.
Ooh, and it rhyme too. And it rhyme.
Don't make me start spitting no bars now.
Look,
All right.
see, look, now, we gotta say that for the next one.
Okay,
We
for the
gotta
next,
say that for
I might
the
have to. I
next
might have to
one.
write something up. All right.
Yeah, so she already giving y'all little snippets of the extra stuff now.
Yeah, I
See,
love
look,
it.
see, come on, man.
I love it.
Once again, I appreciate
Thank
you
you
taking
so
time
much.
out of your schedule to come talk with us, to
I appreciate it.
give a young man some teaching
Come
lessons.
on now.
I'm definitely appreciative of that. Like I said again, I can't thank you enough for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Everyone, please tune in. Join our live.
Come on now.
Get the book.
Mental Mondays, 5:30. Mental
Ooh.
Mondays live on Facebook.
Please tune
5:30. Tune in. Some good stuff. We've been talking about boundaries. Come on, you know we gotta go because we've been on this podcast come on now.
On this note, we gonna leave y'all wanting some more. That's how I'm gonna end. We gonna leave y'all wanting some more. So on that note, like, share, comment, subscribe.
Yes.
Please get in touch. She's mind blowing.
Thank you.
She's mind blowing.
It's been a blessing.
It's been a blessing that you here, man.
Thank you.
Let's not forget too that she look way better than me on camera. So I gotta step my game up the next time she come here.
He gonna have a hat on next time.
She ain't got she had to come in here. She's look at the door on the camera. I'm looking at it at the camera right now, man. I'm gonna get one. All right. But on that note, you guys have a wonderful night, and we out.
Thanks for having me.